Hey guys, welcome to Mr. Smith's Kitchen. Brian, as always. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm glad to have you. If this is your first viewing. We do all kinds of stuff. Normally on Wednesdays, we like to cook dinner, but tonight, I was gonna do if you're back for more, thanks. I appreciate it, really I do. But if you saw yesterday's video on vaccines, which I hope you did, but anyhow, different day, different topic. I had said something about doing a chicken parmesan tonight. Well, as always, like I said, family of four, lots going on. Tonight I'm actually not going to cook, but what I am going to do is I'm going to show you what we've been getting into because we're doing all kinds of stuff. So if you don't already know and you don't know me, we do a lot of canning, preserving of food. We don't physically stick it in cans. We put them in essentially mason jars, or in our case, ball jars. So we started doing a little canning today. We got some pickles that we're making. We're out in Amish country and found a great deal on pickling cucumbers. So we went ahead and bought some, and we'll probably go back and buy some more in the next few days to do some more pickles up, but we're also going to do some jams and jellies today. So I'm probably not going to have time to do chicken parmesan, which is okay. I mean, that's all right. I'm still showing you, we're still doing something, and that's the important thing. And I said, if you're new to the channel, the premise of my channel is really, twofold to show you things, but, it's kind of a science experiment to keep me around, even if it's on, the YouTube channel, for my future generations to see. I want them to be able to know how to do these things and how to learn how to do these things. My children all know how to do that, and hopefully they'll pass it down. But it's not that some of this stuff may not be something that they're into. Either way it goes, but I want them to see it. So anyhow, we're going to do up some jams and jellies this afternoon, and right at the moment we're doing up pickles. I did not film the cutting up of the pickles or the brine or any of that stuff. We're actually testing a couple new recipes for them that I think will turn out fabulous. One of them actually came from a gentleman named Donnie across the street from us, who's a dear friend of ours. They were a pickle that he had when he was a kid, and hasn't had any since the 70s, that his great aunt, I believe, used to make. And he never got the recipe for it. Well, we found at least a recipe similar to it online, and we're trying it, and we're also doing up some dill pickles. So anyhow, and we're playing with some new toys. We'll be playing with the jam maker here in a little bit, but the new toys we got, I'll show you. Let me get flipped around with the camera, and I'll show you what we've been getting up to, and I'll show you the garden, because you guys haven't seen the garden in weeks. So give me just 1 second, I'll be right back. I got flipped around. And right here's our first toy, which is this portable burner. Now, you're not supposed to use these in a non-ventilated place. We are ventilated, got a window open, got the back door open. It's actually really nice outside today, and we've got airflow in here, so we're safe. These are made for kitchen use. They're just, you don't ever want to use one of these gas burners in a area that's an enclosed space, so like the closet, or like a room that doesn't have a window, or you're in your shed, if you're locked in your shed and it doesn't have a window. You want to try to keep a window open when using these, just be safe. That's the important thing. Okay, so that's the first thing we're going, and we've got some pickles in here now, right there. As you can see, we're going, those look like they are hamburger slices. And then if we come outside, see, door open. Here is the other thing we're playing with that we got not too long ago. It's our first time using it. We're going to use this for water bath canning, maybe pressure canning also. I got to do a test run with it to make sure I can keep it at my pressure canner at 11 psi with this. These knobs here, which are the valves to turn it on and off with and adjust the heat, I haven't played with them enough to get them fine-tuned, but there is our other 9 jars of pickles. She's currently taking the temperature of the water. The recipe we're trying for, you have to keep it right around 180 degrees, and as you can see, we're right at 181. And then there's Abby. Hi.
Hi.
And then if I can get Abby to
Mommy.
move. Watch out, baby. Right here is what's left of the dill and the basil still, and then our curly parsley and all kinds of oregano. And my neighbor with his sound system, which is awesome. Here is our 3 of our jalapeno plants, and as you can see, we've got some jalapenos starting up. There's about 30 jalapenos total just on these 3 plants. Yeah, and then back behind them, if you can see them, is my habanero plants, which have just started to produce blooms. So then down here, more tomatoes and more peppers, whether it be I got some bell peppers in there, some jalapenos. Down here I've got poblanos coming on right there, and right there, that giant plant there is a poblano, and I do believe that bad boy is a jalapeno. All 3 of those plants have peppers on them. There are cucumbers growing up the side. Now with these, I've got about a dozen cucumbers on those plants right now. And what I'm going to do is, you see how there isn't any leaves on the bottom anymore? It's because it's using all its energy to start making cucumbers. So what I'm going to do, since these will handle cooler weather, is I'm going to go ahead and plant seeds, new seeds in the bottom of that, because it's only July, which means come September I'll have another set of plants coming up and more cucumbers. And then amongst all this shenanigans here are some more peppers. There's some bell peppers in here, there's some jalapenos and poblanos in there. And then here, we'll walk out real quick and we'll take a look at the tomatoes and the other peppers. Hold on for me just one second. Here we are out with the tomatoes and the rest of the peppers. I got tomatoes for days, and you're saying to yourself, wow, those are really too close together, but they're not. They're just that bushy. Yeah, but we've got all kinds of green tomatoes starting. These are all almost all Romas. There are a few big boys in here now, but you know, last time we looked at those, they were pretty much just still saplings. And then down here, these ones here, which these are about a foot to a foot and a half tall, are poblano peppers. Yeah, this little row here, although I got one feller he's struggling, but I got faith in him. Yeah, this is a jalapeno here, jalapeno down there, and then these are all sweet bell peppers here that are starting to go gangbusters. Now these were planted a little later, so they're a little further behind, but they'll make it, I promise. All right, so that's what we got going on with the tomatoes and the peppers out in the garden. I mean, I don't think you can see them all, but I mean, if we dig down in here, yeah, there is just tons of green tomatoes that will go red, which means in about another month we can start pulling tomatoes and making spaghetti sauce, and you know, a good marinara sauce, and just canned tomato sauce. And then my neighbor across the street, the one I was telling you about earlier, Donnie, he actually has 25 more of my tomato plants and like 15 more bell pepper plants that he's growing for me. We're kind of co-oping our yards, so that way we can have fresh vegetables to can and eat through the fall. All right, well, I'll see you back in the house in just 1 millisecond. Right, guys. So we're back. We're getting ready to make some cherry jam. It's actually a mixed cherry jam. And so the steps that we're going to take, we're going to use our new Ball Jam and Jelly electric fryer pot thing. Electric cooker. Sorry, thank you. So the first thing that she's doing, she's got 2 pounds of cherries there. We're using frozen. You want to let them thaw. And this will hold true. This recipe pretty much holds true for all the jams that we're going to make. And these is this one a low sugar also? All right, so these are low sugar, much like the raspberry. And I'll show you the raspberry jam here in a minute that we made the other day. It turned out delightful. But what she's doing is she's mashing them. You know, you want to make sure you use a potato masher for this and not a processor for it. Because you're still making the jam, you want those chunks of whatever fruit you're using in it. And then along with those cherries, she's going to add in, it's 2 cups of sugar, and then the lemon juice, is what, two tablespoons?
Yeah, 2 tablespoons.
2 tablespoons of lemon juice, and then
half a teaspoon of butter, and 3 tablespoons of the real fruit classic pectin.
yeah, and that's important. We have found with the pectins, Ball actually makes the best pectin for making jams and jellies so far, and that's like she said, it's the classic pectin. They have like 3 different kinds of pectin. One's a liquid, one's for fresh fruits, but we're not using fresh fruits. And then we're using the classic pectin, which you can use for frozen or fresh fruits. And the recipe book we're using a Ball recipe to go with the Ball cooker. And so everything basically is going to be Ball. So, I mean, you can probably get online and look them up. Or if you buy the cooker, which I highly recommend if you're a jam person, it really does make some phenomenal jams. So she's going to finish mashing those up, and then when we come back, we'll show you the process for putting it in the order of operation and how the electric cooker works. All right, see you here in just 1 second. Okay, so we're back, and she's going to tell you what we're going to do next.
You take the 3 tablespoons of your pectin and you're going to sprinkle it over the bottom of the actual cooker evenly. And then just pour the cherries right on top. Evenly as possible here.
Sorry, guys, we're busy watching classic sci-fi movies. That's what you heard in the background.
Spread it out. And then we're not going to put the lid on it yet. We're just going to hit the jam button. We'll set it for 21 minutes, and then we hit enter. And in 4 minutes, it'll beep. We'll add the sugar, and then put the lid on as well.
All right, we'll come back in like 4 minutes, and we'll show you what's going on. All right, see you here. Well, for you, it'll just be a millisecond. All right, stand by. Okay, so we lied. We forgot. After you add the pectin and the jelly, or the cherries, the jelly, you also want to add the
2 tablespoons of lemon juice.
Yep, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice and
then the butter, because the butter's going to keep it from foaming.
Yep, that's a half a teaspoon of butter. Yeah, which goes against some canning rules, but this is a Ball certified canning recipe. So, I don't know if you can see it or not. Here, I'll bring it in so you can see it. There's actually a mechanism in the canner that's spinning that around. So, and as it heats up, I mean, you may see clumps of your pectin or your sugar or whatever in it, but as it heats up, that stuff will dissolve in it. You know, and if you buy one of these, it tells you all this in the instruction guide for making this stuff. I'm telling you, it's the craziest stuff ever. All right, so we'll be back in just a couple of minutes, and we'll show you what's next. All right, so we just beeped. As you can see, we're down to 17 minutes now on the timer. So now all we got left to do is add the sugar and put the lid on it. And like I said, if your sugar, if you look through the glass, because as soon as she's done there, she's going to put the lid on it. And if you look through the lid's glass. I mean, you see clumps of stuff in the beginning, it's okay because it gets hot. I mean, it gets really hot.
It's like a quick boil.
Yep. It's all. I mean, you're taking what would take 6 to 8 hours in a crock pot, and it's going to cook in 21 minutes. So once the 21 minutes is up, I mean, that's literally it. That is how you make jam in this thing. It's the most incredible thing ever. So once the 21 minutes is up, it's ready to go in a water bath, which we're just going to use the water bath we had sitting out on the back porch that the same setup we used with the pickles. So that way we're pretty much already ready set up to go on that end also. What you would normally do while that is counting down is go ahead, get your water bath set up. You get your pot. Make sure you have your jars ready. You want them in your sink and some hot water. If they're brand new jars, you want to wash them up real quick. That way they're good to go. Keep them hot. You want everything the same temperature. That way you don't run the risk of the glass breaking. And you've got your water going on your stove, or in our case outside on the burner, and you want it just warming up. You want everything to be about 180 degrees, roughly. I mean, the hot water coming out of the tap that we're going to have our jar sitting in is only like 120, 125. But that's okay. You just want it warm. You don't want it to break. Cold glass, hot product equals broken glass. All right, so I'll be back here in exactly 16 minutes, as you can see right there on the timer. And, well, now 15 minutes. And we'll go ahead and get these jarred up. All right, hold on just one moment. All right, we're back. It's been 15 minutes since I saw you last, although for you it's been a millisecond. So now it's done. It has cooked down. I'm telling you, this thing is a super cooker. 21 minutes versus 8 hours. Yeah, and we'll get 4 to 5 half pint or jelly jars out of this. And my initial thought was, well, it's not going to be very much, but in reality, it's a lot. We just don't eat that much jam and jelly. Yeah. So, but, I mean, ideas for this, if you do decide to get one, you can have some for yourself, give it away at Christmas time. So what she's doing now is she's using her funnel. She's going to fill these up to a 1/4 inch of head space. So you'd want to use your tool, or like I said, eventually you do this long enough, you kind of know. Yeah. And you'll take it up to a 1/4 inch of head space. And then the next step she'll do after she gets these 4 filled is she'll wipe the rims down. You can use hot water, or you can use vinegar. So it's completely up to you. You just want to make sure you get those rims super clean. That way, you know you get a good seal on it. You know, it's all about getting a good seal on it because you want those to pop and, you know, make a difference. So, and real quick, right behind Kris, while she's doing that, there are the pickles we just got done canning. Very cool. So far, all the lids have popped and sealed except for 2, I think. Yeah, so that's pretty awesome. Sorry, I didn't mean to shake you around there. I know that's no fun being shaken.
I think this is going to be more than I thought. Oh, we got 5 out of the last one.
Yep, yeah, because remember we got that little, the fancy jar. So, cool trick for having white towels. If you get stuff on it, see like how she just spilled a little bit of the cherry juice on it, or the cherry on there, it's not a big deal. You let it soak overnight in vinegar. Vinegar and water. Yeah, about a cap full of vinegar and water, but you gotta let it sit overnight because it does take a minute. It'll take that stain right out. That towel's actually been stained a handful of times. Yeah, which, I mean, that's okay. Yeah. So, what do you do? This is a good thing to know. Like that jar there, she may not get it full up to completely up to a 1/4 inch from the top. So what do you do if it's not a 1/4 inch from the top? It's still okay to water bath can it, you know. And then if not, okay, say, you know, you get one like if all those pickle jars don't seal, if you don't hear a ting and it doesn't seal tight and right, what do you do with it? You can just simply put those pickles in the fridge and enjoy them right away. You know, that holds true for most stuff that you can. Look at the vinegar down, yeah. That's all right. Yeah, it happens. I make mistakes all the time. Ask these guys. I forget ingredients until the last minute. I forget to get all my tools out. So, and realistically speaking, not only does this not take any time to do, it seems like, but the mess is minimal. You know, because you're not, yeah, it's just minimal. You know, this is something you can do quick and easy. Sometimes canning, especially jams and jellies, is an all-day process. You know, it could take up your days. We've literally been doing this for about, half hour. You know, maybe. And when you put your lids on, put them on straight. And then when your rings, remember, finger tight. You don't want to, you know, slam it on there. Just, they call it finger tight because you're using nothing more than your fingers. Yeah, and important to wipe those rims down.
If you have anything left on it, it could not seal. Might not.
For sure.
Alright.
All right, so next step, we're out to the canner. All right, so all we got left to do is throw these in the water bath. As you can see right in there now. Things to think about. When you water bath, your water should be about an inch over top of the jars. So what we're going to do, even though this has been warming up, is once we get those in there, we'll just add more hot water to it. After that, we're going to bring this up. We'll put the lid back on the pot. We'll bring it up to a rolling boil, and then we'll start our timer. And you just got to do it for 10 minutes. Let it rolling boil for 10 minutes, then let them sit in there for 5. After they're done, after they're done with your 10 minutes, you'll let them boil, or you'll take them out. You'll take the lid off. You'll let them sit in there for 5 minutes, and then you'll be ready to go. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and get these done, and when we come back, we'll take a look at what we made, and I'll show you guys the blackberry jam that we previously made. All right, we'll see you here in just 1 second. All right, guys, so we're on the final leg of our adventure. To recap, we basically just followed the ball instructions for the, jam and jelly cooker. It takes 21 minutes to make the jam. We did cherry. So right here is our final product. It's just got the prettiest color red. I know you got a glare going off of there, but there's our jam. Hasn't quite solid yet because it's, it's still warm. Even to the touch. It does take, like any time we've canned, okay? We've when we can, once we pull it out, you let it sit for 12 to 24 hours. You don't touch it, don't mess with it. That'll be the only jar I touch. Now they're gonna sit there with the pickles till the end of time. But to show you how it looks when it solidifies, I got a couple examples here. Right here's the blackberry jam we made from the video the other day, which, by the way, is amazing, especially if you like blackberries. I do recommend they offer 2 recipes in the books for each of these jams. One's a low sugar, which is what we're using, and one's a high sugar. And, well, the one we use is a reduced sugar, and the other one's a normal recipe. I think the reduced sugar is plenty, just plenty enough. Right here is the cherry. We had a little bit left over, so we let it sit, and look, that was just sitting at room temperature. It solidified that well. I'll tell you, that ball pectin is something else. Ooh, that is really good. That was my first taste. If you like cherries, that's definitely the way to go. We also made a peach, but it's not quite cool enough yet to run. And all this just while we were letting the cherry sit and cool. I mean, we've managed to make, in less than 2.5 hours, we have made 5 jars of cherry. We have made 5 jars of peach. We have made
6 jars of strawberries.
Yep, we're getting ready to do 6 jars of strawberries. They're getting ready to go in the canner now, all in a couple hours. So I'm going to say, even though nobody asked me to test this, I would recommend this. I'm going to try the peach real quick while I got you here. If you like peaches, it's the way to go. Once again, reduced sugar, I think, is the way to go. It's still very sweet, and you can still taste the peaches or the cherries or the blackberries. It is definitely up there. All right. Well, I'm going to get these strawberries together. Actually, Kris is going to get these strawberries together. I'm going to get them out in the water canner for her. And keep on canning. We still got some pineapple left to do, and then I think we're going to call it a day on these. And then tomorrow she's going to do some blueberry jam. And I am going to make that hummingbird cake. And we'll walk through that. All right, well, if you made it through the end of this video, thank you for watching. Been a busy day. And I will see you tomorrow for some hummingbird cake. I love you very much. Tell somebody else you love them very much. It'll make their day a whole lot better. And we'll talk to you later. All right? See you tomorrow. Bye.